I haven't watched this video. But it has almost 1.7 million views. And is please don't buy Atomic Heart. Bingus.
Today is August 9th, 1945. The US drops 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, turning the cities to dust and ending the lives of more than 200,000 people, shortly after which Japan surrenders.
Okay.
In celebration, the US government creates and publishes a tabletop board game called Nuclear Love, themed according to the operation performed. It was made
This didn't happen.
for 2 players, where one would be playing on the side of the US and the other would be playing as Japan.
I would 100% be aware of
That
this.
look like miniature atomic bombs, and the person who manages to bomb the other's city capital first wins. By rules of the game, however, the US side would always have the first turn, which brought
They call it Nuclear Love. What, like Atomic Heart? Okay.
natural
Dude.
advantage, and the board game, despite the patriotism and popularity, failed on the market. Sounds like a rather unethical piece of military propaganda that nullifies the tragedies, right? That's because Nuclear Love never existed, and I just made it up.
It sounds like that because it never existed. Okay, we've got a bro who doesn't use words right.
But there is a similar situation that does exist that follows this formula, and it is about to be released, and its name is Atomic Heart. I want to preface the video by saying that if you're the type of person that is still going to buy and play something like Hogwarts Legacy,
What you mean, the kind of person? Why are you saying that like it's not a massive general audience game? The audience is so massive for this that you can't pigeonhole or easily define the kind of person to do that, because it's fucking everyone.
despite its infamy, you might as well click off, as I'm going to explain why it's a bad idea to purchase and play Atomic Heart. Go on, you have a Joe Rogan podcast to catch up on, or play Call of Duty or something, I don't know. Off you go.
What's wrong with Call of Duty? It's a great social game. Hang out with your friends, shoot some things in a pretend world.
Being Ukrainian myself, I'm making
Everything is now clear. Okay. I wonder if he'd agree that you should view this video while keeping closely in mind that he's Ukrainian and that he has, understandably, perfectly understandably, a gigantic, insane amount of bias.
this video to spread awareness, so even if 100 people see this, I'm satisfied. Even if one person cancels their pre-order because of this video, I'm satisfied. I will be turning monetization on for this video if possible, and all revenue from this video will be going straight to local Ukrainian charities. But let's
What? Like you mean the food bank in his kitchen?
start with the basics. What is Atomic Heart? Atomic Heart is a video game set to be released on February 21st, 2023 that is positioned...
Damn, that's soon. I'm gonna play it. Thanks, bro. I didn't realize it was coming out so soon. I would have missed it without your video.
as Bioshock in the USSR. It describes the events of the alternative history of the 50s, where the Soviet Union emerged from the Second World War.
I knew about it from a long time ago.
Technologically advanced,
Okay.
reaching the peak of development with cold nuclear fusion and intelligent robots.
Immediately, let's jump back to the start of the video. US bombed Japan, Japan surrendered. Pretend game where America always beats Japan. The USSR, the Soviet Union, fucking collapsed in 91. This is an alternate history where a government and nation that collapsed didn't collapse. It's the opposite of the hypothetical board game. The board game is the victors shitting on the people they crushed. This is what if it didn't collapse and back in the 50s it went a different route. Or is this this has to be after the 50s, based on a 50s USSR that took a different path and ended up not collapsing in 91. Yeah, it would be like a game. It would be like a Japanese game where Japan didn't get nuked.
Yor Nechayev, who is a KGB major and an officer in special assignments. So far, the game has been universally appraised, earning top spots in
Universally appraised. I think it means praised. I'm going to assume that English isn't his first language. Because universally appraised just means a lot of people judged it.
Coming games lists on sites like PC Gamer, IGN, and Gamescom.
Yeah.
But let's see who is really behind it.
Uh-oh.
The game is developed by
Am I going to be able to watch this?
a Russian studio called Montfish. On the website of the studio, there is currently no mention of the fact that this is a Russian game dev. The story of the company...
Why in 2023 isn't the Russian game dev plastering "We're Russian" all over their product? Why would they not do that? They have to wear the gold star!
Begins with its launch in 2017 by a team of 4 like-minded gaming enthusiasts in Cyprus. At the same time, the studio was mentioned as a Russian one with an office in Moscow in Russian gaming and IT media articles.
Okay.
In 2019, there was even a report from the Moscow office of the studio. And after the events of 2022, the company completely ostracized itself from being known as a strictly Russian company, and
No shit, they distanced themselves from that. Yeah, they don't want to get fucked in the ass. Understandable, dude.
And is now presenting itself as international, which in terms of their history of office installments and offshores means half Cyprus, half Armenian, half Singapore, and whatever the hell else.
Okay, that's fine.
Just to avoid sanctions and negative
Yep, okay.
spotlight.
I would too.
So, now that we've established that this is actually a Russian studio, what is their opinion on the war going on? What could be their stance on this tragic matter that could save and keep their public image and also not tank the sales? Let's read out loud together. Guys, we have noted the questions surrounding where we at Montfish stand. We want to assure you that Montfish is a developer and studio with a global team focused on an innovative game and is undeniably a pro-peace organization against violence against people.
Yeah, that sounds like about as much as they could possibly say with people on their team living in Russia. Do you want them to get fucking curb stomped?
We do not comment on politics or religion. Rest assured, we're a global team focused... Hold on, stop. We do not comment on politics? You're making a game that's sole idea is USSR renewal and communism. You class...
Are you fucking stupid? It's this thing again! You made a game with political overtones that involves a fucking nation from the past and real life things. Therefore, talk about current war while living in country involved. North Korean game dev. You made a game about Christopher Columbus exploring, and yet you won't say fuck Kim Jong-un? You hypocrite.
Classified your game as inspired by Bioshock and Prey, yet you go the no politics in my video game route? This is...
No, they didn't. They as individuals, or they as a studio, do not make direct comment on politics. Perhaps they would comment about other things, but it's understandable that they'd avoid it in this situation. A game having political elements that are open to interpretation and political references, political overtones, is apples and oranges to that, bro.
One step away from the types of gamers who say, I don't like politics in my video game, and then immediately open up Fallout. What absolute nonsense.
I mean, if you... Come on. Literally no one means I don't want anything related to politics in video games. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 insane people have said that. No one means that. At all. No one means that. They don't want politics external to the game world to restrict what's in the game world, or they don't want ham-fisted shite that's just slamming a contemporary political message in your face to the detriment of quality.
Criticism regarding that tweet was simply to ban people, so it's a short answer.
Violence against which people exactly? Can't even say it. Yeah, because some of them are in Russia, though. Okay.
There. Now, let's look at the CEO of Montfish, whose name is Robert Bagratuni. Except that it isn't. His actual name is Maxim Zatsepin.
Oh shit.
Max previously had a position
I'm scared. Let the man cook. I'm scared to go forward. The way he's presenting this, is he going to be like, and they're Jewish? It's that kind of fucking thing. He has a Russian name. Oh shit.
of a creative director slash top manager in Mail, which is now presented as VK, the biggest social media platform in Russia. It doesn't take much to figure out that a platform that is based in Russia, directed and controlled by Russia, and is used only by Russians will have a strict pro-Russian stance. But it doesn't end there.
Okay. Do you think perhaps the studio is feeling that squeeze?
Meet Yevgenia Sidova as the founder of Montfish. She's a former model and an owner of a modeling agency. She worked at New Media Stars, where she was in charge of the computer.
Do you hear this evil foghorn in the background? Wait, when the woman appears, there's like a brap in the background.
We'll have a
wait. Listen carefully.
Stance. Meet Yevgenia Sidova as the founder of Montfish. She's a former model and an owner of...
This is some Joseph Goebbels shit. This is some fucking ethnic hatred propaganda shit, dog. What is this?
Where she was in charge of the computer graphics department. That company is now in charge of various pro-Russian mass media.
There's a low-pitched tone that came in when her face appeared to make you feel like she's scary and evil. This man is complaining about propaganda and he's using these techniques. This video is Ukrainian propaganda, dog. Just saying.
According to the former employees of the company, all Montfish transactions and checks are on her behalf. Let's roll back the time a little bit. The game has been in development for quite a while, and by quite a while I mean at least 7 years, with its earliest trailers dating back to 2017. And the scene in 2017 and 2018 wasn't as smooth for them. Many people got interested and excited, but a lot of people were skeptical, the reason being a shady system of pre-orders. Let me paint you a picture. An unknown company posts a small teaser trailer of some generic assets and a description to cause hype, with all of the effort to guide you to their pre-order page, where you would be met with a $60 base game, $90 pre-order for Gold Edition, and $100 for Premium Edition. Mind you, you see these price tags, and there's exactly 2 minutes of badly made teaser trailer footage with no gameplay to serve as the video game's representation and marketing. What did not help was the fact that the game was being developed by a studio that no one has ever heard from before.
This isn't shady. It's shit. It's shit. It's a terrible offering a little 2-minute trailer and say pre-order our shit. That's a terrible pitch. What's shady? Shady implies underhandedness. They showed you what they've got. It's 2 minutes of video. Here's our prices. Pre-order. There's nothing shady there. Shitty? Sure. Shady? We'll have to see if he says anything.
Before being just born and publishing Atomic Heart as their first game, which means that they have no background and no past games that would justify the pre-order.
It doesn't necessarily mean that. I don't know who works there. The individuals might have previous experience. Wait, so he thinks... He's saying they didn't have the background to justify that. Is he saying if a studio with a history of producing games did the same thing, it wouldn't be shady? The thing that makes it shady is that they don't have a history of publishing games? That's fucking stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
Order prices. However, the breaking point for many people was that the game didn't even have a release date, or even a release year at the time.
Yeah, but they knew that it didn't. They're not tricking you into thinking it does. Also, yes, true. It's releasing in, 10 days? So this seems irrelevant at this point. To complain about it at the time and call it shit. Yeah, sure.
Which meant that you're investing up to $100 for something that might not come out ever, practically losing your money.
Yeah, bad idea to pre-order many years before the game comes out. Not a scam though, because you know that.
You know what else is $60 for the same price as the base game? Elden Ring. Doubts started to rise as many people called this
Okay.
out to be a fake footage from a video game that doesn't exist, made by a shadow company with no records, just to
Shadow
scam
company.
people out of their pre-order money. And it's been like that for a long time until they dropped more trailers and promo material and so on and so forth, but the initial impression fell.
Did this guy mean to go back in time and publish this video before we knew that wasn't the case? I think he forgot to do YouTube's, in YouTube you can schedule posts to go up at a certain time. I think he tried to do it like 5 years ago.
Flat. Now let's talk economics. If you were to buy one and spend $60, where would these $60 go? That is a really good question. To answer it, let's look at what kind of companies signed up to be the investors and publishers for Atomic Heart, basically to be the ones who would be taking the large cut in Atomic Heart's revenue. The investors of the studio are Chinese Tencent and Russian GEM Capital and Gaijin Entertainment. Tencent needs no introduction, being infamous with its licensing technique and hunger over users' data. So let's start with Gaijin Entertainment, which moved from Russia to Hungary in 2022 in order to avoid conflict and continue its activities. The head of the PR, Konstantin Hovorun,
Wait, is my man advocating like hunting down Russian people who leave the country? What is the implication of this?
illegally visited the Ukrainian Crimea, which is temporarily occupied by Russia, and repeatedly spoke in support of the policies and politics of the Russian Federation.
Yeah, sure.
But the most interesting spot.
I don't think... Did he say that while he was in Russia by any chance? I don't think you can... Russia, North Korea, those kind of places. I don't know if you can pin people's words related to government action to them as strongly as if they lived somewhere else, because it's possible he supported it. Sure. It's also possible he would not be safe saying he wants it to stop. And if this guy wants to say, no, he should be stopping it, then, Herenko, you're in Ukraine and you're making videos instead of helping your brothers and sisters on the front line. Just saying.
GEM Capital. GEM Capital is a Russian fund founded by Anatoly Pali, who previously worked at Gazprom's subsidiary, Gazenergoset. The studio raised investments from them in 2021, where Anatoly met and became friends.
You're telling me this studio full of Russians is getting funding from Russians? Oh yeah, there's like 100 comments on the video, by the way.
With oligarchs who got rich on oil and gas activities.
Yeah, probably,
and now have the opportunity to invest large sums of money in various projects. Namely, the export of gas and oil is one of the main categories of income of the Russian budget, the money from which goes to the military industry. And if you know basic economics and finances, you know that all investments must be returned, including interest. Moreover, a Twitter user found Pali's connection to other Russian state institutions, such as the sanctioned, systematically important bank VTB. The game attracted as many as 4 publishers: Xbox, 4Divinity, Focus Entertainment, and VK Play. Let's focus on VK Play. It is known to be a gaming division of the former Mail.ru, the same Mail.ru who had Maxim Zatsepin as their former top manager. And again, it is closely connected with the Russian government and participates in many initiatives of the Kremlin.
Yeah.
If Atomic Heart is being developed with money that originated from sanctioned Russian businesses such as VK and Mail.ru, and banks which are systematically important to Russian government such as VTB, profits from the game could be directed to help the Russian government in its invasion. Thus, by buying Atomic Heart,
if you let Russians eat food and they pay tax on that food, they're helping invade Ukraine. We have to just stop them.
You would pay money to companies that support the aggressive policies and military actions of the Russian Federation. Lastly, there were some incredible terms of service and privacy policies spotted over at Montfish. The website now leads to a 404, but someone managed to capture these screenshots. Basically, it says that your information can and will be transferred to the Russian government, in particularly the Federal Security Service, and not just your username, but your full name, physical address, email.
They're probably not legally allowed to do otherwise. Oh.
Phone number, IP address, and so on. Gotta say, their mobilization.
Welcome to the UK as well, bro. Except they don't tell you that.
Methods are getting kinda dire. Finally, let's talk about the game itself for a bit. Set in the USSR in 1955, Atomic Heart's story begins as the Soviet scientist Dmitry Sechenov creates an AI-assisted legion of robots that take control of all manual labor, leaving humans
weird. Looks like in these clips you're fucking shooting those robots. Weird, just saying.
Free to live a life of leisure and luxury. The main protagonist is a mentally unstable officer on special assignments, nicknamed P3, who is sent by this Professor Sechenov to keep the situation at Facility 3826 from deteriorating. The game is set in a utopian universe where the USSR had won and had a major boost.
Sorry, utopian universe where AI is going haywire. Utopian universe where the robots are gonna kill us all. Okay, dude.
Boost in technical progress. The gameplay is centered around fighting through hordes of various types of enemies, ranging from plain robots to cosmic horror type obscurities.
That's not a cosmic horror obscurity. That's a drilling robot. That's a drilling robot.
The game is filled to the brim with USSR-themed keepsakes and memorabilia from.
Yeah, no shit. Where it's set in alternate history where the USSR doesn't fall, presumably.
Drinking condensed milk straight out of the can,
to
actual flags and symbols of the USSR, hammer and sickle. This kind of approach to the showcase of USSR and communism walks a thin line between using it for world building and praising it.
You think they're glorifying the USSR by putting you in an alternate history USSR where their advancement is leading to humanity-threatening disaster. You think someone making a game that's an alternate universe where even if they became technologically advanced beyond everyone else, they still collapse. You think that's, yeah, USSR, great.
There are many solid reasons to believe that this line has been crossed completely right into promoting and idealizing the USSR regime.
This world that we're looking at idealizes the USSR regime. Insane. Yeah, convince me, bro. Convince me.
And using it as a tool of USSR and Russian military propaganda. And there have been events to prove this. Take a look at this event that people behind VK organized. It was a special showcase of Atomic Heart for the Russian press, which was stylized in the game's Soviet aesthetics. And they did not go stingy on the decorations, huh? The event included.
Yes, they themed the press event around what is present in their game. Does he think the game is an excuse to post hammer and sickle shit? That it's like a dog whistle or something?
In a large banquet hall where you could see Soviet-style slogans like "Glory to the Soviet engineers" or "Comrade, join the Society of the Future." One of the.
It's fucking ironic. It's ironic. It's like Liberty Prime. It's Liberty Prime's hyper pro-capitalist slogans contrasted with the content of the game. It's look at the glorious communist utopia. But then you look at it and it's hell. That's the it's not a joke, but that's the message.
Users in Twitter replies said, "Imagine if developers of Wolfenstein had a Nazi-themed party," and I would say that's well said. Sergei Mohov, a Remedy lead gameplay designer, rightfully accused Monfig.
People feel differently about the two, bro. But also, their party is about the contrast between the messages and what it really is. It's not actually a wahoo USSR party.
Of being nostalgic about the Soviet regime or even glorifying it. Ironically, the party's date coincided with the adoption of the new anti-LGBT law in Russia, which brings us right back to USSR, I guess. A major point that I want to bring attention to, that there have been numerous well-made games with a
The video game developers don't control the country. This is unacceptable.
Soviet or USSR or low-lying Eastern Europe theme or setting. Let's bring some examples. In Singularity, the Soviet Union discovered a source of element 99 and has special powers that could warp time itself, trying to bring it to the glory days through time travel. If you're in the mood for video games that came out 15 years ago but already played through all the world famous ones, you should give it a try. In Half-Life 2, the setting of City 17 has not been directly said to be in a specific part of the world, but it's clear that it's been influenced by Eastern Europe's architecture and style. Bulgarian art director Viktor Antonov, the person behind City 17 and Dunwall of Dishonored, mentions his childhood hometown of Sofia as main inspiration for City 17. Other places like Belgrade were also used as reference. In Disco Elysium, the streets of Martinez show what it would be like to live through the failure of an attempted communist revolution. You can still see artillery damage and bullet holes in the walls, notes the lead writer Helen Hinpere. There's this feeling of being stuck in the past. People of Soviet and post-Soviet era are very familiar with this feeling, especially those who live in countries like Moldova or Estonia, which is the homeland of the game's lead designer, Robert Kurvitz.
Okay. Is he now gonna say how Atomic Heart is different, despite showing the fucking robot apocalypse? In what way does Atomic Heart differ?
The game takes its own spin of what being a communist entails through its own political vision quest and partially the main quest. I won't spoil it, and I do suggest you try it out yourself. Coming back to Atomic Heart, another point that rubs me the wrong way is the
He didn't say how Atomic Heart was different. He didn't say how it's different. He just showed other ones that do the same thing. Is he saying those are bad, or is he saying those are different? He just didn't do it. He just didn't do it.
The recent marketing strategy. It seems like their marketing team realized that their previous shady strategy has failed to bring in pre-orders, so they went with another plan to make typical capital G gamers buy their game, which is of course none other than through sexualization and objectification of women. I have avoided showing these characters on screen, but I am talking about the couple of female USSR-styled robots that they suddenly added in recent trailers and thumbnails to get the attention of the lusty neckbeards. Just by searching Atomic Heart on YouTube and scrolling far down, it's impossible to miss the countless trailers, thumbnails, edits, and shorts about these characters, with some videos claiming that they'll buy the game just for these two, which also brings in the ongoing issue of sexualizing lesbians in media. Not only
Are they lesbians? They're robots with a female form. I mean, like, if it just showed a couple of real-life ballerinas together, they could more or less look like this depending on how form-fitting their clothing is. Wait, let me check something. Like, ballet is yeah. There's Russian ballet. I always associate ballet with Russia. I thought it was like a ballet type reference thing. It's also a horny posting thing, sure. They are meant to be sexy to people, but I thought it just falls in with the Russian stuff because they look like ballerinas. To me, that's what I thought immediately.
Is marketing like this highly unethical and immoral, as we've been fighting with objectifying and sexualizing women, especially in media and advertisements.
They're not women. They have sculpted breasts, but it's a humanoid robot.
Especially lesbians, but it's also actually illegal.
In what fucking retard country?
For example, in Ukraine, our parliament...
Is he mad that the Russians aren't following Ukrainian law?
adopted a law banning sexism in advertising, which became active in January 2022.
Also, not a lawyer, so I don't necessarily believe that you're interpreting this correctly. Discriminatory advertising containing or using statements and or images that are discriminatory on the basis of race, skin color, political, religious, or other belief. Uh-oh. Good thing this guy's video isn't an ad, or it might be illegal. Gender, age, disability, ethnic and social origin, citizenship, family and property status, place of residence, blah blah, by language or other characteristics regarding a person and or a group of persons. Discriminatory advertising on the basis of gender, advertising containing statements and or images regarding the intellectual, physical, social, or other superiority of one gender over the other, and or regarding the stereotyping of the role of men and women, promoting humiliating and derogatory attitudes, degrades human dignity based on gender, demonstrates gender-based violence, uses an image of the human body or part of the body exclusively as a sexual object for the purpose of attracting a consumer's attention. There's no way this falls foul. There's no way this falls foul of this law either. To me, this doesn't seem like the law says breasts are illegal, and because it doesn't, I don't think I don't think Atomic Heart's ads fall foul of this, even though they don't need to not fall foul.
Elected officials have banned showing the superiority of one gender over another in physical, intellectual, or social aspect, showing stereotypical roles of men and women, gender-based violence, as well as the human body as a sexual object. In simpler terms,
no, it doesn't say that, you fucking liar. It says the human body or parts of the human body exclusively as a sexual object. Is he stupid or is he deliberately omitting that? He did. Previously, he showed examples of text he was talking about, right, as he talked. If he wasn't dodging that word, he would have shown it on screen, I think.
Gross and cheap, and what pains me to say is that it seems to be working. These YouTube shorts and edits are getting millions of views, quickly becoming favorite among the fans, who quickly started to spread rumors about a possible 6-hour sex scene in the video game.
Also, am I allowed to say those robots, including the like splitting open, there's a sexual element in that I find women's bodies attractive, but also it's fucking weird and creepy. It's definitely not exclusively sexual.
It's so wrong on so many levels. In conclusion, what can you do to support Ukraine on this matter? If you did purchase a pre-order...
Support Ukraine on the matter of Atomic Heart being pre-ordered. Dude, holy shit. And he's gonna call other people neckbeard ignorant gamers?
Of Atomic Heart, the first and the best step would be to cancel it, request a refund, and send that exact amount of money to Ukrainian charities.
Bro, he's talking about like biases and connections whilst being a Ukrainian asking you to send money to Ukraine. My man. Wait, so cancelling the pre-order isn't enough. I have to atone by also sending that amount of money to your country. Fuck off.
The second part is admirable, but not necessary. Simply cancelling the pre-order is fine. And let's be honest,
cancelling the pre-order is acceptable, I suppose, but you should really be sending me and my country money. Fuck off.
This day and age, you shouldn't be buying pre-orders anyway. If you want to go a step further, you can do the following. You can go to the game's shop page, click on the complaint flag, select the item breach of the law, contains materials that violate the laws of your country, and write a similar text or something on that matter.
Holy...
In case you didn't know, Ukraine has implemented a law that...
Shit. Holy fuck. Go to the Steam page of the game, click on the complaint flag, select the item, breach of the law contains materials that violate the laws of your country. Write the following text. Violation of the law of Ukraine. It has to be your country, though. Can this guy... I know he's ESL, but does he just not understand? Yeah. The point of that is to get the game pulled from being distributed in that country. That's why it specifically contains materials that violate the laws of your country.
Restricts and bans all Soviet and USSR propaganda, symbols, and memorabilia. We had quite enough of that.
So after all that, you're saying, you don't want politics in your video games. Yo, we're gonna owning the communists by implementing draconian laws against art. Nice.
You simply want to stand aside and be an innocent bystander, there is a way as well. When the game comes out on February 21st, simply play a different game. It's that easy. Don't wishlist Atomic Heart, don't buy it, and go play something like Disco Elysium instead. You should wishlist Stalker 2 though. Some users could make a claim that they could simply pirate it and
they're doing a weird thing with a tube. This isn't just sex. They're doing a weird tube thing, dude.
pay no money to the Russian devs and still enjoy the game. To that
Oh, so the problem's the Russian devs getting money. It is just anti-Russian, which I understand. I understand a Ukrainian feeling that way, but no.
can't say anything. At that point it depends only on your moral compass. If you feel comfortable playing the game after watching this video till the end,
I feel like I have to play the game now. It was a maybe before. Because of this video, I have to. Like, even if I have to buy it and I don't get a code or gifted it, I have to play it.
I've done all in my power and I can't control your wallet, so I can't stop you from pirating this game.
But he would if he could.
It's just up to your morals and ideals at this point. In the description, I'll be sending the links to all of the articles used for this video. Whether to check it is up to you. I want to give a shout out to Dirty Wall for helping a lot with the research part for this video, including tweets and articles. And this is why you shouldn't buy Atomic Heart. Misleading marketing, shady pre-order.
Wait, how was the marketing misleading? I don't think he said it. There was no section on misleading marketing. There was a shady pre-order practice brought up that isn't shady, it's just shitty. But there was no misleading marketing. He didn't even say it was misleading. Oh, Pantulapan, you're fucking right! You're right, the first part was they're not broadcasting constantly that they're Russian. You're right, when he says misleading marketing, he means it's misleading because they don't constantly say we're Russian, we're Russian, we're Russian.
USSR glorification and direct financial gain to Russia's military. I know that this is not a usual video I would make, but I had to spread awareness.
No, indirect financial gain. You don't buy it and then a cut goes directly. It's via taxes, via the companies that have invested. I wouldn't say that's direct. Fuck me.
I know that this video might attract some enlightened centrist contrarians who will buy the game either way, and those I shall rightfully ignore. Have a good day.
So, just so you know, scrolling down isn't showing it there. The video has 1.65 million views, 119 comments. The creator's comment is pinned, and he explains, "Hey, unfortunately I am forced to somewhat limit comments, as they are currently being botted by more faceless newly made accounts than anyone could ever realistically keep up with. I am reading them and appreciate people taking the time to provide their thoughts and feedback. I hope you can understand." So, personally, I'm sympathetic to Ukraine in Ukraine versus Russia. However, this guy is a fucking psycho Ukraine propagandist who just straight up hates Russians. Doesn't just hate what the Russian government is doing to him and his country. This guy is a fucking freak.